You're listening to the Gopher Broke podcast. The Gophers are coming off a big dub against Purdue, but now we turn our eyes towards the Corn Fritters. It is time to take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. We're going to dive into what that matchup could look like, predictions, and more here at Gopher Broke podcast. What up? You are listening to the Gopher Broke podcast. Be sure to follow on YouTube, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts at the Gopher Broke podcast. We're talking Gophers once a week, every week, straight Gophers football. I know I'm excited for the basketball season, but this is straight Gophers football for you once a week, every week. Actually, technically twice a week because we do a live post game immediately following the Gopher games as well, which that one's on a Friday night. Friday night this week, the Gophers take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Tristyn, how you feeling so far?
I'm feeling great. And he's saying that now, but once basketball starts, he's gonna get his takes off. Don't doubt it, people. He's gonna sneak in some basketball takes.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we talked Timberwolves and Celtics in here, so of course we're going to talk a little bit of Gophers basketball.
But we have to.
The podcast is for Gophers football. We're not going to act like we are pros outside of this. Now, I am tapped in for the basketball teams. I'm a season ticket holder for the women's basketball team, so we're going to be in the barn. We're going to be going. We're going to get rowdy. But overall, I got to ask you, weekly segment. What's the gripe of the week?
Pretty clean week. After that win, I felt good. All week has been nice. Now, what I'm running into, again, it's another life thing. It's another thing that, only few people are going to understand. My 1.5-year-old has decided that within, she's the best. She's the best sleeper. I love her to death. She's my favorite child by far. But she has decided that a month before a newborn will join the house, she's decided to start going through a sleep regression where she just doesn't like bedtime anymore. And she was our best sleeper by far. She's never had a problem. She's are you tired? Mm-hmm. Goes right up to her room, ready for bed. And just in this last week has decided, I don't like that anymore. So that's awesome.
She's just getting ready.
Two babies who don't want to sleep.
Ready, exactly. She's prepping you. She's like, this is what it's like. Here's a friendly reminder, just in case you forgot, because you're gonna experience it again.
She's doing it for me. She's doing it for me. I should have thought about it that way.
Yeah, she's just getting you some reps, just like the Gophers were getting reps by getting whooped by Ohio State to then start slow against Purdue, but found a way to get it done. We're gonna talk about that Purdue game here today in a recap before we dive into the Nebraska one. But before we get into that, before we dive into all the Gophers talk, we got to talk about these Big Ten matchups coming up this week. Look, the Big Ten, they got a lot of people right on the outside of rankings. We got Michigan, Illinois, and Washington as the top 3 schools right outside of the top 25. And then there's only 5 teams that are ranked. So the current ranked teams are Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, and USC. And I think there's Nebraska, the one we're playing this weekend.
Yeah, I was going to say.
5 teams that are officially ranked in the Big Ten. None of them play each other this week. And a lot of these games I feel like should be predictable, except for this first one. Washington at Michigan. How you feeling on that one?
Michigan looks good, dude. They look good.
They just lost to USC.
I know, but something about them. I think they're at Washington or at Michigan?
At Michigan.
I'm going to go Michigan just because it's a tough place to play.
I'm going to go against you. I'm going to go Washington on the road finds a way to get it done. Next game, Purdue at Northwestern. Now, both of these teams have been scrappy. Both of these teams have been a little unpredictable. It's at Northwestern, and look, Northwestern just beat Penn State at Penn State's homecoming. At their homecoming. They said, oh, y'all didn't want to let James Franklin go last week? Bet we got y'all. We got y'all. Don't worry. You gonna get rid of Baldy because we got y'all.
Oh my God. I'm sure we're going to talk about it. That's insane. It's just insane. I don't know what's going on. That's going to be an awesome game. That went from look at these two basketball schools to maybe this game rocks. Like, I only wanted to see these two teams in March, and now I got them, and I think it might be okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, I don't know. I'm going to go let down spot for Nebraska and give me Purdue.
Yep. No, Northwestern. You said Nebraska. I got you.
Northwestern.
The listeners, the listeners are out there. They're picky. They get all pretty with it.
We're gonna have so many Nebraska people listening to this, and they're already pissed.
I got you back. I am going to go with Northwestern as well. I feel like Purdue might hang their heads a little bit after losing to Minnesota, how they lost to Minnesota. And like I said, the end of their schedule is absolutely brutal. So they need this Northwestern game and they need their next week game. Otherwise, they might not win a single Big Ten game. So I'm going to go with Northwestern at home. Next one, clean sweep, Ohio State. You're picking Ohio State over Wisconsin. We don't need to bring that up any further. Michigan State at Indiana. I think this one's a clean sweep too.
That's Indiana.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure. I didn't know if you were going to throw a curveball out here or try to catch me off guard.
Indiana might be the second best team in the country right now. They're so good.
They're nasty. Also, Indiana coach getting poached by Penn State. Is it going to happen?
I mean, if he wasn't so old, is he too old to hire as a coach?
Dog, do you care? He said, Google me, and now Indiana is relevant. Not just relevant, they're one of the best teams in the country. It just feels like
Penn State has had they've had 3 coaches in the last 150 years, it feels like. So that's why I'm like, you want some longevity out of a guy. But, I mean, it would be a great hire. It would be a great hire.
I just want to beat Ohio State. I think
that's true. That's all that matters.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he stays. I hope he's like, nah, look, I'm about to build this thing into, y'all gonna forget this is a basketball school. And me saying that alone is disrespectful to Indiana University because they are a diehard, blue blood basketball program. And I'm Kirk Signetti is like, yo, I'm gonna make y'all forget that. But I got Indiana win that game. Next game is Oregon at Rutgers. Now, look, I think this game is going to be closer than what the spread is. The spread is 17.5 points in favor of Oregon. I think Rutgers will cover in this game, but I think Oregon wins it.
I tend to agree with you, but yes, Oregon will win it, but that is a travel. That is such a travel. How are teams doing that? Are they leaving 3 days in advance?
I don't think so. I think the Gophers went to Berkeley. I think they ended up leaving the day before, the Friday night or whatever. Or no, not Friday night. Probably Thursday night or Friday or morning, something like that. These teams, they've just been like, yo, whatever. We'll practice at that time, but we'll travel like normal. And I think that's kind of weird, but you do you, boo-boo. Yeah. All right, Penn State at Iowa. Dude, what is Penn State at this point? They lost Drew Aller. They fired their coach. Do they pull a UCLA and rally, or do they just crumble and suck for the rest of the year? What are we going to do?
It's Iowa, too?
At Iowa.
That's Iowa. I'm going to take Iowa. I mean, the crowd is going to be insane. Can you imagine, all those fans originally at the beginning of the year were like, do we want to go to that game? We're probably going to get beat. And now they're like, we're about to beat Penn State for the first time in how long?
Yeah.
That rocks.
Yeah. But those fans are going to save all of their rowdiness for the following week when Minnesota goes to Iowa. So
that's true. That's true. They were going to go to both either way.
I hope Iowa wins. So then they can mess around and get overconfident, and then Minnesota can come and maybe do something out there. We'll see what happens. We got a whole week until we talk about that game. Anyways, last 2 games here. Maryland at UCLA. This game actually looks interesting as hell now. So which way are you going?
I mean, you got to go UCLA, I feel like. I don't know. I like Maryland too, but I don't know. I just don't know. I'm going to say UCLA because they look like the best team in the Big Ten the last 2 weeks, just dominant. So I'm going to just rock UCLA.
I'm going to go UCLA too because UCLA is riding momentum up and Maryland is riding momentum down. Maryland's dropped their last 2 games. UCLA's won their last 2 games. I'm going to go UCLA at home. Maybe the fans actually show up for this game finally.
They're going to take down the Jordan tarp that covers up half the stadium.
Dog, you love the logo. Just throw the
I
logo up. They
do. It
won't
looks
even think
cold. It looks
about that
cold. But
fans
every
are.
time I see it, I'm just like, damn, y'all not selling that many tickets.
All right, final game with a Big Ten team. USC taking on rival Notre Dame. This is number 20 at number 13. This is at Notre Dame. Can USC keep the wins going? You think they can beat the rival, or what are we doing?
It's a rivalry game. I just don't know. Notre Dame's defense really not as impressive as they looked at the beginning of the year, as you thought they were going to be at the beginning of the year. So I'm going to say if I was a gambling man, I would bet the over. I'd bet the over in it because I think that might be fun. But at Notre Dame,
The over is it's a 61.5 line.
dude,
So
every USC game is like 65, 67. Like they just put up so many points. Give me USC then. I like their quarterback. Their quarterback is fun.
Yeah, I hate to agree with you, but I think I'm going to agree with you on this one. USC's only loss so far is a 2-point loss to Illinois at the buzzer on a field goal. So, I think USC might be legit right now. Now, Notre Dame, they've got 4 wins in a row, but Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State, NC State, who have they played?
Yeah.
The only 2 teams have played, they lost to.
I was going to say, but if Notre Dame wins out, they probably still make the playoffs, correct?
I mean,
if they lose, this could be a play. This could get them bounced out of playoffs.
This could get them bounced out of the playoffs. Let's hope
this could get both teams
fresh blood. We want some fresh blood in the playoffs.
I was going to say, this might be an elimination game for both those teams.
All right, let's kick it over. We have dove deep. 11 minutes of non-Gopher talk. Some folks are like, I'm out. I'm tapped out. Let's move it over to the Gophers. We got to recap the Purdue USC, the Purdue versus Minnesota game that happened last week. Now, they didn't get to hear your takes. How are you feeling after that one? Immediately following the game, I gave my quick thoughts, but what were your thoughts in that close down to the wire type game?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to comment during your live, but it wasn't working. I said it was an ugly loss. ugly loss, but we don't apologize for wins. A win is a win is a win. So, I mean, good teams find a way to win no matter what. So
we're still finding out if we're a good team. I got to put a pause on.
That's where I was kind of leading into. I think saying we're a good team would be maybe an overstatement right now. We did not look good. The offensive line did not look good. The run game looked abysmal.
Yeah,
without Coy's pick six, that game was going the wrong direction very quickly, and we needed that more than anything. And that could have that pick. I would like for that pick to have saved the season, and that's where from that point on, everything could just be great. We just carry that momentum. So
just get it right.
It was ugly. It was ugly.
My stat of the week on the game, the Gophers gained 4 turnovers in the game versus Purdue. That is their second time this season where they've gained 4 turnovers versus Purdue and versus Northwestern State. That is the first time in the PJ Fleck era that Minnesota defense has had 4 or more turnovers in multiple games in one season. So shout outs there. The defense was on a roller coaster. It was absolutely wild. They get picked apart, and then they're picking the ball off, and then they're picked apart again, and then they're picking the ball. I'm like, what is going on right now? Are we good or are we bad? Let's be
chaos. It was so hard it was hard to be emotionally calm because you didn't know what was going to happen next.
All right. Who was Tristyn Spann-Ford's That Dude's Good of the week?
I just said it. Coy needed that pick 6, and it feels like that was the moment where we're like, okay, he got that monkey off his back, so now let's go off. Let's play ball now. We got it out of the way. We got it started. Now we can begin.
Yep. All right, my what the helly moment of the week. Honestly, it was why is this game such a struggle for our offense? We were playing one of the worst defenses in the FBS, and we struggled. The run game was shut down. The pass game was struggling. We only completed a third of our third down attempts. We repeatedly just went screen pass, try to force it into a man-on-man coverage, getting a holding or a DPI, which neither call came out because the refs were blinder than Stevie Wonder. But either way, You can't keep forcing it. Your quarterback, who is talented and is good, through 47% because we're trying to force those type of routes. This whole offensive struggle had me like, what the hell is going on?
You are not wrong. It was a disaster. We could not get anything going. The run was abysmal. Like I don't what did we finish with rushing yards? Like 20? It
Uh,
was insane. At
I
one
think
point I was
it
like,
would be
we're
like
just not
60.
never gonna run the ball again.
No, 60 is a damn lie. I don't know why I just said that. It was 30. 30 was the
Yeah.
net rushing yards in that game.
Yeah, see, like it was insane. Like I and then I had myself in a blender where I was like, okay, all year we've been talking about PJ, don't lean on the run. You don't have to lean on the run. Turns out maybe we need to lean on the run. I could have been
Can
wrong.
you? Can you lean on the run though if they
Well, we
only
can't,
get
but
like 2 yards a carry?
we gotta figure out something. I'm looking at like Darius Taylor is averaging like 4 yards a carry, not even like 3.5. Like it's completely different. I know he's been hurt, but it's completely different. The whole scheme and the whole way we are operating this offense than what we have in the past. Even when we did throw the ball a decent amount.
Yeah, there's just no push. There's no opening
None.
from this O line right
None.
now. They're pass protecting decent. They're pass protecting like solid, but the run blocking is just, what are we doing? Are we trying? Like, what is happening here? Because Darius Taylor is a talented ass running back, and this man is literally running his ass off for 2 yards. Like, what is happening?
He's running into like 4 or 5 defenders before he gets across the line of scrimmage. Like he had the 30 yards and 29 of them are yards after carry or like after contact. Like it's nuts. Like
For real, you got to be thinking he's getting tackled like 1 yard. He's missing 3 tackles, getting tackled or hit like at the 3 yard mark or the 2 yard mark. This man's probably like, y'all are supposed to be keeping me healthy, bro. I just want to be able to run a couple of yards before I get hit. Not the second I touch the ball, I got to drop to the ground. Come on now. The run game
it's
is bad right
crazy.
now. It is so bad. And
Yeah,
the thing is, Purdue's run defense was terrible, but they loaded the box on us and played man. And I would be baffled if Nebraska didn't do the exact same thing until the Gophers can prove that they can go against it. Now, the things we learned in last week, again, last week at this point, when we talked about things we learned from the Ohio State game, I said these wide receivers cannot create separation or space in man defense when playing against NFL level cornerbacks. That's what I said last week. I would like to revise that statement.
oh,
They
no.
cannot create separation in space against any cornerbacks. It is freaking terrible right now. These dudes are like, let's play man, let's play press man, let's play cover one. Those three things, and just stay close. They won't be able to shake you. Just stay close. Their quarterback, he might fit it in there. He might drop it in a bread basket every once in a while. But I mean, they'll keep it close for you. Like,
You gotta go for the ball. You gotta make an effort. The ball isn't gonna just come right to you every time. You gotta make a play on it. Like if you see it, you gotta go up and get it. I mean, I can't play that position. I can't play any position. But I mean, you gotta think this is what you practice. This is all you do. This is what you're supposed to do.
see, I think maybe we're wrong. Maybe they're hitting the jugs machine so much they're just hitting the jugs because we kept complaining about drops. They're like, all right,
No.
jugs, and then they're like, oh shit, how do we run a route again? Like it's just like it's one to the other. It's just crazy, and that's causing some struggles in the pass game. It's making it a lot more difficult for our quarterback. So that's something we learned. The defense has to start faster. Like, we're still getting gashed left and right, but the beginnings of these games are looking brutal. We're playing catch up right away. Like, we got to start faster. And they were the reason Minnesota won against Purdue, but they also gave up a ton of yardage, and they have to find a way to get stops. So that's something we learned. Final thing is this D-line. They're struggling to get pressure right now. I don't know if it's holding. I don't know if it's lack of dudes outside of Anthony Smith right now. I don't know if we're worn down because we don't have as much depth going on the D-line. I don't know what it is. but you better find a way to get an answer and get some pressure on the quarterback, because them not getting pressure on the quarterback is screwing the whole thing up, because the secondary isn't able to cover as long as they're having to. And then we're getting gashed left and right, sideways, up, down, you name it. It is a struggle for this Gophers defense.
Yeah, that's one of my points that I wrote down that's going to be huge this week, I think, because this line has given up, their offensive line has given up a few sacks this season. So it's a great opportunity if we can get some life out of the D line. It's tough. Like the recapping this game feels like a loss. Like it does feel like it feels like a loss because it was disappointing in the performance aspect of it. Again, win's a win, not going to apologize. But there's so many things that we've seen this year that this team has done better that they just did not do this week. Like this last week has been miserable. I know we keep talking about like we're growing, and we have these expectations that we probably haven't hit yet. But last week we played worse than we've seen this year. Like it was bad.
Yep. All right, so we're moving on. We're turning the page towards Nebraska, where the Gophers rank currently in the nation on offense and defense. You know, it's still teeter-tottering right there in the middle now. The elite numbers have dropped. Our passing offense is 68th, which
we'll
is
always
terrible.
have those first couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll always have the first 4 weeks. Rushing offense is 114th in the nation. Just only 20 teams are worse than us at running the football in the FBS. Scoring offense is 76. You'll take that. That's like right in the middle. 104th total offense. It's getting worse because of the rushing offense. So we got to find ways to start responding on offense, because the last 2 games have looked putrid on the offensive side of the ball. On the defense, where we had some elite numbers to kick it off, those are falling. Pass defense 49th in the nation, rush defense 28th in the nation, scoring defense 49th in the nation, and total defense 27th. We're tied for 46th in sacks and tied for 29th in turnovers. So, I mean, we're still top 50 in every category, but it's not the top 10, top 25 that we kept seeing over and over. It's definitely steadily decreasing.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But hey, we played Ohio State, so there's a lot of teams. A lot of teams in the country who have not played Ohio State.
We showed up at Ohio State, but did we play?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. First quarter, we played a quarter of football against Ohio State.
We played a drive of football against.
We played one drive of football.
And we're saying this like we would have did any better, and we in fact probably would have died on that football field. But let's talk about Nebraska. What are your thoughts heading into this one? I know heading into the season, I had been talking Nebraska up. I had been telling y'all on this here show, look, I think that this is going to be the year. Matt Rule, year 3, always pops off. Right now, I believe they're like 6-1 or 7-1 currently. Popping off. How's it going?
Yeah, I think when we did our preseason, listen, before the commenters from Nebraska get at me, let me finish this statement.
5-1.
Oh, wait, what?
I said 5-1. I said 6 or 7-1. They're 5-1.
Fair. I love the idea of Nebraska getting hyped up every single year and then not being good, because I think it's funny. They are good this year. They are very good. Their offense is awesome. Dylan Raiola looks really good, and their running back is a beast too. So
from Minnesota, we let one go.
Yes, it's tough. It's tough out here, but it's as fun as it is for like just college football commentary when Nebraska is not good. I don't think that's one of these years.
Unfortunately, if they beat us this week, they're already bowl eligible. So. Nebraska is playing very well. Their only loss on the season to number 21, Michigan. They lost by a field goal in that game.
Yep.
But as we turn to Nebraska, Minnesota in the PJ Fleck era is 6-1 versus Nebraska since PJ Fleck has coached at Minnesota. But I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't worried about this game. They are a top 10 passing team in the nation right now. Our secondary has not shown that they consistently can handle the pass, so that's a worry for me right now. In fact, we've been gashed by multiple people, including Ethan Kalikmanis, JKS, who Ryan Brown was starting to, and then he kind of tapered off and threw a lot of picks. Julian Sayin Yep. Like,
Brian Brown.
pick a quarterback. Pick a quarterback at this point. Like,
I know we're moving past Purdue. Brian Brown kind of rocks. Kind of rocks. Like, it would be very fun to cheer for that guy. He seems like a Baker Mayfield kind of
I
like
said
gonna
that
take
last
a hit.
week. I told you. I was like,
Yeah,
this dude is like Baker
yeah,
Mayfield. Like, he's just got the
yeah.
swagger and the moxie about him. And he's like,
Oh
yep,
yeah.
I'm going to scramble. I'm going to find some way to do it. It might look ugly, but it's going to happen.
Yep. Okay, moving on. Nebraska.
Back to
Purdue's
Nebraska.
done.
Back to Nebraska. So, yeah, worried about their passing offense. Flip side, worried about their passing defense. Number one pass defense in the country right now in Minnesota has been struggling against the man and press man defense in creating separation. So, this is literally the type of team that Minnesota does not want to play right now because they accent every weakness of your team. That's what Nebraska is good at. So, Minnesota's going to get tested. They're going to get tested for sure. And I know people are telling me, like, the defense last week, bend, don't break, bend, don't break, bend, don't break. Look, you can only bend so damn much before something breaks, okay? And we bending a whole lot. So it's time to sturdy up, lay the brick wall down because I'm tired of bending, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I agree. Hopium for Gophers fans. You gotta assume PJ went in and coached this week like they lost that game. Like, you celebrate homecoming, but then you're in the film room like, hey, this looked bad. So I'm hoping we never see that team that we saw against Purdue. Like, we flipped the switch this week. I think we flipped the switch.
I hope so, because, they looked worse versus Ohio State, but Ohio State was a better talent, so you're like, okay, whatever. Then you go and you still look bad at your homecoming against Purdue. You find a way to get it done. Hopefully we look better, but there's no hopefully anymore. Like, it's a short week. You're playing at night, and Nebraska's not going to be playing no games, so you have to come right away from jump and bring your best. Now, Nebraska defensively, 82nd in the country in run defense. So hopefully the Gophers can finally get something going. But that being said, Purdue was like 107th last week. So we'll see what happens. First in pass defense, like I said, tied for 30th in scoring defense, 14th in total defense, 41st in turnovers, and 83rd in sacks. So, like, they have a rock solid defense. They've held their own. They've played really well. That being said, they've played in a lot of high scoring games so far. Now, the first game they played against Cincinnati, 20-17 they won, 68-0 against Akron. You expected that. 59-7 against Houston Christian. You expected that. The next three games have all been high scoring. 30-27 loss against Michigan, 38-27 versus Michigan State win, and 34-31 versus Maryland last week in a win. So they've been high scoring games, but the Nebraska defense is playing really well. So I haven't watched a ton of Nebraska. I've watched the Michigan game. I watched little parts of the Michigan State game, but overall I feel like it's little hiccups elsewhere or short fields, which is why the defensive yardage and everything doesn't look bad against Nebraska. So hopefully the Gophers can play on some short fields and find scoring opportunities. But Javen Wright leads the team in tackles with 39. He has a half sack and a pass breakup. Deshaun Singleton is a name to know in the secondary. He's second in the team in tackles, and he's first on the team with interceptions with 2. Plus, he has a fumble recovery. And then their sack leader is McCullough. He is a linebacker. He has 2 sacks on the season. Nwaneri is the other player that has multiple sacks on the team. He has 1.5, but otherwise, Nebraska's defensive unit is solid as a whole. It's not a bunch of individuals or a couple stars that are littered throughout it. They play really well. It's like the sum is greater than the parts, and I think that's rock solid for a team that has a strong offense, because then you're not relying on 1 or 2 big players like a Coy or like an Anthony Smith, and if they get bottled up, then everything else kind of dies down. You have a team that somebody different can step up each week and make a big play or make a sack or make an interception. And so I feel like that in itself is kind of dangerous. So I've got respect for this Nebraska defense, but everything you worry about with this Nebraska team is definitely on the offense. The quarterback, like we've said, and I touted at the beginning of the year, I think I called him my number 2 quarterback in the Big Ten. I think he might have the most talented arm in the conference, and he'll probably be one of the most talented arms the Gophers play this year between him, JKS, and Dante Moore. They're all like that freak type of quarterback arm talent. Julian Sane was the most accurate player that Minnesota will probably play, but these three have just that pure arm talent. But overall, he's fifth in the Big Ten in pass yards, but third in the Big Ten with the most interceptions. So there could be opportunities for the Gophers to get some turnovers in here. You said you like Raiola. What do you like about him, or what worries about that quarterback?
Well, I just think, I mean, he's playing really good ball, and like you said, the arm talent is insane. Like, he can throw the ball from so many angles; it's absolutely nuts. Like, he does the dumb Patrick Mahomes thing. But the thing is, he plays that way too. Like, he makes some throws that you're like, I mean, yeah, like, I get it. But also, I did notice something when I was looking at his numbers. They don't, like, the last 2 games at least, he really hasn't thrown the ball that much. Like, MSU,
Last game, I know
he
they
had
ran the hell out of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say MSU. He had 24 throws, and then against Maryland he threw it 29 times. But in those passes, he's extremely accurate. Like, he doesn't miss. And then, but I mean, against Maryland, I think he had a pick. He's had a pick in both those games. But even if you take those away, like, he's super accurate, and I think that is important because that's all you need out of him, especially when you run, like, their running back had 176 yards in the last game on 20 carries. Like, that's insane. So they just run down the field, and then, he throws a touchdown. So
yeah, you're not wrong at all. I mean, Raiola has had interceptions in each of his last 3 games, so hopefully the Gophers can keep that streak going.
Keep that up.
But like you said, he does kind of emulate and mimic Mahomes a bit. I'm going to make a crazy comparison, but go with me. Go with me before you start hearing things. So he's like the corny version of Kobe Bryant, because Kobe Bryant emulated, mimicked, and Michael Jordan, everything, you know what I mean? Like, but he had the swagger and the grit, and he wasn't out there mimicking for show. He was like, I'm going to master this craft because he's the best to do it, and I'm going to be better. Whereas I feel like Raiola mimics Mahomes because they have a similar play style, but I think he just really idolizes Mahomes, so it comes off as corny because he just does everything the same. So that's where it's a little bit different. Like, does that make sense?
No, I absolutely get what you're saying. The most important thing, I think we have to do a quote card now of you saying Dylan Raiola is like Kobe Bryant.
No, I said the corny version. The corny version. If you're going to put it out there, make sure you put the corny version. And maybe that's a shout out to the Cornhuskers. But either way, we will move on from
have a theory.
Yeah.
I have a theory. Last year, Pat Mahomes, they started out slow last year too, didn't they? Never mind. It's a dumb theory. I was going to say, if Patrick Mahomes is good, Dylan Raiola sucks. And if Pat Mahomes sucks, that's when Dylan Raiola is good.
Hey,
because
Pat
he
Mahomes
started
is the
out
number one fantasy quarterback in the NFL right now. Fantasy football.
Brother, I'm talking about last year. Remember last year?
Yeah.
Dylan Raiola started out hot and then tapered towards the end, and Pat Mahomes did the opposite. But this year, I mean, the same thing kind of happened, but Pat Mahomes is now, I mean, he's going to win another Super Bowl. So it was dumb. It was a dumb thought, but at least I got to voice it.
We're throwing out hot takes. We're throwing out comparisons. All right,
There's only so much Patrick Mahomes power to go around. They can't help both happen.
That's fair. Emmett Johnson, running back for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, definitely a name you need to know. He's from Minnesota. He played, I believe he was Mr. Minnesota or he was one of the finalists or something like that. But overall, he has been balling this season. Now, he hit the transfer portal in the offseason and then ended up coming back because he was like, the staff was like, we need you, we want you, we're going to feature you. And they have been. He's second in the Big Ten in rush yards, 650 rush yards, 7 rushing touchdowns, 6.2 yards per carry, and he has 130 through the air with the touchdown. He's forced 31 missed tackles, and he has 305 of his 650 yards after contact. So, like, he's a dude. He's like busting through tackles. He is finding ways to get it done. 176 last week. Top 35 graded run grade on PFF. He is not someone to take lightly, and I think the Gophers have only given up one 100-yard rusher so far in the season, and I would not be surprised if he ended up being the second one, but I'm hoping they can bottle it up a little bit. But the thing that makes it dangerous is that Raiola, good at passing the ball. So if you try to take away anything from Raiola, they're like, okay, we'll hand it to Emmett Johnson. So, like, their offense as a whole is really well-balanced and well-rounded. They've got 3 main wide receivers that are nice: Nazia Hunter, Jacoby Barney, and Dane Key. Collectively, amongst the 3 of them, they have 11 receiving touchdowns, and Barney and Key are both fast as hell. Nazia is a box out contested catch type guy, even though he's only 6'1". So they kind of have someone that can do it all. Barney's been playing a gadget role, kind of like Debo a little bit too. So I think this is the third most difficult game on our schedule, and I am not taking this lightly. I have worries, I have hesitations. You'll hear my prediction at the end of this show, so we'll see what happens there. But any final thoughts on the Cornhuskers before we start going to the predictions?
No, I think I agree with you. This is a very good team. Especially with the way we look right now currently, we cannot take this game lightly. I will not be predicting the Gophers to lose. I will set that precedent right now. But this is going to be a tough game. This is going to be a battle.
Spoiler alert. So my keys to this game, if you have a slow start, you're going to have a broken heart, is one of my notes I wrote down. You have to bring the juice right away. Got to bring the juice right away. If you don't, it's going to be brutal for your Gophers. Your offensive line has to answer the call. If you can't generate on the ground, you're going to lose this game. And then finally, long drives are going to be important. You have to have long drives. You got to play some classic PJ ball now. It doesn't have to be all running, but you got to keep possession of the clock and keep the ball out of this explosive offense's hands. Those are the keys for this one. Let's dive into the predictions. First off, Drake Lindsay, pass yards, 214.5 is the line. Are you taking the over or the under?
I think that is a good line.
That's cool. I took it from underdog, so.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just pulling that out of the air. Okay. I want to say the over, but I'm gonna go under just because I'm hoping we get this run game going because this secondary is good. It's a good secondary, so we have to get this run game going.
I took the over 214. I think Drake will get past that. I don't know how much further past that, but I do take the over on this one. By the way, before we keep going, you are currently in the lead in our totals. You have 22 points. I have 20, so I'm right there on your heels, ready to make a comeback this week. Emmett Johnson, his rushing total is 96.5 yards. Are you taking the over or the under?
Under. I'm going under based on the fact that our defensive line cannot possibly be as stale as they were this week. So, or they were last week.
I'm also taking the under on this one. Like I said, only one individual running back has crossed the 100-yard mark on Minnesota. That was Rutgers' guy, and that's because Minnesota completely shifted the second half and trying to shut down Ethan Gallegmanis. So We'll see what happens. I think it'll be a little bit of both, and so he stays under 97. Dylan Rayola.
Defense has to make tackles.
Yeah, we got to make tackles. You ain't wrong. These tackles got your boy out here just pulling his hair out. Dylan Rayola, his line is set at 248.5 over or under on pass yards.
I think he's going to go over that. He looks good. He's good. Our secondary has done nothing to show me that they can consistently cover these wide receivers.
I can talk you out of it. You want me to talk you out of it?
Absolutely, I do. Absolutely.
So he has only passed for over 248.5 3 times this season, and one of those 3 times was against Akron. So does it actually count?
Doesn't count.
So Michigan and Maryland, he was at 308 and 260. So 248 isn't terrible. I know that if I give you any hint, you'll think about turning it down, but I'm taking the over if it makes you any confident in your answer. I'm taking the over on 248.5 for sure.
Okay, put me on over. Put me on the over.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Put me on the no. Put me on the under. Leave me on the under. Put me on the under. Put me on the under. I've decided to go under.
All right,
they're going to run the ball, and he's not going to throw it that many times. Under.
But you said that their running back's only going to have 96 yards or less, so
we're shutting them down, apparently.
All right, there it is, folks.
Looks like the Gophers are going to dominate this week.
Darius Taylor, 64.5 rush yards. You got the over or the under?
I'm gonna hammer this over until my dying breath. He has to have a monster game. He has to. We need to run the football.
O-line, if you are watching this video, do your job, because Tristyn is hammering the over.
Please.
I'm going to take the over as well. Darius Taylor, we need him. Like, he is the spark plug for this
That's what I'm
offense.
saying. I'm willing the over to happen.
Total yards given up by the Gophers defense. What do you got?
Well, give me total yards 2. I put myself in a pretzel. No, I took the under now in passing yards. So give me 275.
270.
Come on, dog. What do you got?
Dog, you're crazy.
They gave up what, 260 last week?
The Gophers?
No. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my wrong stat that I had written down. I'm looking at Dylan Royola's passing yards for last week. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was looking at just his passing yards, and I wrote it next to their last week's stats. So that's my bad. I
was like, dog, you believe in this defense.
You know I don't know ball. Okay, total yards, 350.
All right, well.
Which is still optimistic.
Yeah, it's still decent. That's still decent.
It's optimistic.
I've got them at 420, so I'm going to go with 420, and that still might be low. I think Purdue had 465. So
people are gonna jump on me for saying 275.
Yeah,
right
don't look at the comments. Just leave them off at this point.
I don't look at them, but I'm just saying they're gonna be mad. They just keep listening. Listening.
First touchdown for the Gophers. Who do you got?
Darius Taylor until it's not.
All right, I'm gonna rock with Lemecki Brockington.
Ooh, I like that. Second pick, Javon Tracy?
Javon for the fans that are going to get on our ass about it. Javon Tracy, friend of the show. I don't know if he's a friend of the show. We got love for Javon Tracy, though.
We're friends with him.
Let's go.
You don't got to be friends back.
Let's go Jamison Gears. Him and Drake Lindsay have been connecting more and more lately. Gophers first drive. Do they score? And if so, touchdown or field goal?
I think it's a field goal this week.
I'm saying they don't score on their first drive. So they've let me down too many times. I'm just taking the no at this point.
You have a broken heart. Yeah, I understand. I see me? I'm ready to get hurt again.
Slow start, broken heart. I told you. Do the Gophers get turnovers in this game? If so, how many and who?
Yes. I think we do. I think Kerry Brown gets a pick this week. I think just maybe one pick. I don't know about a fumble. I'm going to go one turnover.
I'll go one. I'm going Coy. He's getting the swag back. He's getting that juices going after game winner. All right, who leads the team in tackles? I'm going for it first. I'm taking Maverick Baranowski.
Give me Devin Williams.
Good pick. All right, any sacks? If so, who?
Yes. I think we get 2 sacks this week. Devin Eastern will get one. He needs one. He's due for one. And Anthony Smith.
I'm going to go with one. And I'm just going to play it safe and say Anthony Smith. All right, I'm picking first on defense. You're picking first on offense. We're going player of the game for your Minnesota Gophers. Who do you got for the offense?
Man, this is tough because I really think Darius needs to have a big game, but it sucks that he has to rely on having a great game based on the 5 guys in front of him getting a little bit of push. But he's due. Darius Taylor.
All right, I'll just take the easy answer and say Drake Lindsay, because if he gets it going and throws for 300, which I would love to see happen again,
great.
It's easy to put him up there, and he tends to spread the ball around, so it's hard to pick a receiver because he distributes it so evenly. Defensive player of the game, I'm going Anthony Smith. I'm going to go Anthony Smith. I think he does have a big game. Even if he only has 1 sack, I think he finds ways to really help put the pressure on this team. Maybe he helps drive into a turnover, an interception or what have you. So I'm going to go Anthony Smith for my defensive player of the game.
Then I'm going to take I have Kerry Brown with the pick. I'm going to go Kerry Brown then as well. I'll just stick with Kerry Brown. I do think Coy is going to have a big game. I think you're correct. He has got his swagger back, but I think Kerry has a solid performance this week. It's going to help us get a dub.
All right, time for the final score predictions. What do you have, Mr. Tristyn Spann-Ford?
I don't know. I just don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring in this game, but that's going to take a lot of effort from the Gophers as well. Give me Gophers 28-27.
28-27, a 1-point barn burner on a Friday night. Tristyn Spann-Ford is going to give you your hopes. I'm going to bring you back down to earth. I've got Nebraska 35, Minnesota 24. I've got us losing by 11 points at home to the Cornhuskers. They break the streak. I hope it doesn't happen, but I'm going to try to be a little realistic and not let my heart get broken. God damn it.
Not me. I'm ready to get hurt again. I'm all in. I'm all in until we lose.
I'm not all in on the.
I'm right back in.
All right, the last thing I'm going to ask you, we're going to skip the biggest worry because we've talked about it all good day. We're going to skip the confidence because I don't know if either one of us has a locked-in confidence right now. But I do want to know who is your out-of-nowhere player to have a big week to wrap up the show.
Oh, out of nowhere. What about... Has Jackson Howard been getting a lot of reps?
I haven't paid attention too much, to be honest with you. I think that
I know reps are hard with the D-line. It's hard to pay attention to who's rotating in. I'm going to say Jackson Howard. Maybe Jackson Howard has a couple explosive plays, and we're like, hey, remember Jackson Howard, number 1 recruit? I like that.
All right. Curveball. I'm going Malachi Coleman against his former team. He's going to get the speedster going. We got to get some separation, and we can't do it in the route, so he's going to put every fast body he's got out there. PJ says, go deep, go get it, and Malachi Coleman's going to get it done. He is my out-of-nowhere player for a big week. That's going to wrap up our show here at the Gopher Broke Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, follow, leave comments, leave 5-star reviews so we can continue to build up the podcast. Also, Nebraska fans, if you're tapped in, we appreciate you for listening. Feel free to talk trash in the comments, but be respectful with it. And hopefully, Gophers can pull a dub. We'll see what happens. Any final words for the folks, Tristyn?
Nah, man, just get out there and enjoy football. We are, I hate to say it, we're getting to that halfway point, and you got to soak it all in. We finally got some fall weather. It feels good out there. Just soak it in, people. Soak it in.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Roll the boat, Sky Mago Gophers. As always, please don't forget to hit subscribe.